Okay guys, finally, the final tip for the onions. I'm going to show you what you don't want to do now. First I tell you what you want to do, now I'm going to tell you what not to do. Which is the final step, is what not to do. Coming up right after this. Alright, so here's the onion bed. Actually, there's two of them. We'll talk about that one in a little bit. But the onions have grown up. Uh, they didn't get super big, but I am not disappointed. Nonetheless, they're beautiful. They're quite, I'd say some of them are like baseball size, which I'm perfectly fine with. Pretty happy with it. But you see how, they've fallen over. And basically, if you don't know, I'll tell you real quick. The way you can tell your onions are pretty much done, ready to harvest, is when they start falling over on their own. So if you see your onions doing that, don't panic and don't throw fertilizer on them thinking that, oh my Lord, something's wrong with my onions. That's exactly what you want. These onions are ready to go. So they're all laying down. Now, I'm not gonna do a harvesting onions video because, I don't need to show anybody how to, grab an onion and pluck it. But there is one thing I do, is the onions have to dry anyway. And I look at my forecast, and I don't have any rain coming my way for the next week and a half, like 9 days. So what I like to do is I just like to leave the onions laying right on the bed like this, just like that. They're pretty much ready, but instead of me plucking them, I just leave them laying on the bed. Okay, so those onions are ready. So let's talk about this one. You see, this one is not so ready. It's starting to get ready, but this is a different variety of onion. I believe this onion is 80 days, and these onions here are 60 days onions. So do you see the difference? So these here still have about another week and a half to catch up. And that's why they're not falling over, because they were planted the same exact day. So the days to maturity do matter. That's not a bad size onion. I would say right there, that's a pretty big onion. Actually, this bed, that's a different variety of onions than these. So, but anyway, back to the tip that I want to tell you guys, is dealing with this here. I already, I did the video, I explained, I did the planting video, I did the fertilizing video, when to fertilize, how often to fertilize, what fertilizer I use, when to stop fertilizing and to add a lot of water to it. I also made a video on that. And now I'm going to tell you what not to do. Once your onions get to this stage, stop your watering immediately. Do not give them any more water. If you see, like I have them in a raised bed here, this is what I do. I've done it in the past. It works. If you see that there's rain coming, you can certainly throw a tarp over your raised bed to not let any water get in these onions. Because what's going to happen now is if they get water, you see this neck right here? This neck will get all mushy and it'll start rotting the onion. You want this neck right here to totally dry. And once that's totally dry, that's when you should cut. You should cut your greens off. I'd say leave about 1.5 inches. And now they're ready to be stored in a rack somewhere. But the rack I'm using is the actual raised bed. So do you see why I leave them? It's because from here, once they're totally cured on their own naturally, and this is all dry, then I'm just gonna put them in onion bags and store them in a cool, dark place with lots of ventilation, obviously. And but that's the tip. Stop watering. Do not let any more water touch your onions when they get to this stage. These here, I'm still giving them a little bit of water, but not every other day like I told you guys to do. This one now is probably every 4 days. I'll give them some water, but they are starting to go. And as soon as I see them getting just a little bit more, like dropping, I'll stop watering this bed as well. So, guys, I hope that's a good tip. But this onion thing I'm doing here, this growing series, is to simply teach you guys how I do it. So, that's the tip right there. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this onion growing series that I did here in the Shed Wars community. Um, it's simply the way I do it. And right now the onions are pretty much ready. And if you guys want to check out the whole series, I will leave cards right up here, or maybe up here. I can't figure out this pointing thing. But I will leave the cards from the planting to the fertilizing, what to use for fertilizer, when to do it, when to stop watering. Well, the stop watering is this one. When to add more water. I'll leave the whole series here. There was a lot of fun sharing this series with the Shed Wars community, as well as with the rest of the world. For the ones that did not know how to grow onions, well, you follow this series and you will know. I promise you. What you just saw me show you there, that's proof. So if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, you are new here, please feel free to click the subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. And while you're on the channel, you might consider sticking around and watching a few of these videos, or maybe these. Anyway, till next time, you guys stay safe.